Hello everyone, and Chag Pesach, Kosher Sameach. Be'ezrat Hashem, we're gonna do a quick review on how to kosher the kitchen for Passover. The kitchen is used with chametz all the year round, and that's the most complicated place and the most important place because we cook there. So there's certain things that we need to know how to kosher it, and Be'ezrat Hashem, today we're gonna learn together how to do it in the best way and in the fastest way. So let's start with the countertop. The countertop, according to the Sephardic halacha, it's very easy to kosher it for Pesach. Most of countertops, doesn't matter what they are made from, are able to be koshered by boiling waters. So we take the kettle and we just go around the countertop. We take a small place, we put the boiling water, they have to be boiling, so right after it's boiling, right after we use it, we put it on the countertop, and then we can just push the water to the sink, and then another like few 20 or 30 centimeters of the countertop. We do the same procedure until we finish the whole countertop, and it's basically kosher for Passover. For those people that this is too complicated for them, they can do the other option. The other option is just to take aluminum foil and to cover the whole countertop, and just to use the countertop on Pesach on that aluminum foil. That's also an option, and this option is good for Ashkenazim and Sfaradim. The first one is good for Sfaradim, and this is the way how we kosher the countertop. The sink basically can be koshered in the same way. Sink doesn't matter what it's made from. It's made from metal or made from ceramic even. There is a possibility to kosher it according to Rabbi Israel Yakobov, this Sfaradim opinion. And we do it the same. We just have to clean it very good with a good cleaning spray. And by the way, also the countertop, we should clean it before we kosher it. And after we clean it with that spray, we take the kettle as well. And after the water is boiling, we put it on the sink. Right after that, we should wash it with cold water. And basically, the sink can be used like that on Passover according to Rabbi Israel Yakobov. Some people are more machmir, they're more strict with this koshering the sink and the countertop, as we said before. They cover the sink with a plastic. They invented today new sinks that you can adjust it to your sink from plastic. If you can get that, this is also an option, but basically we can kosher it in that way. And the reason why it's so simple is because we don't actually, the sink doesn't touch the food, and the food doesn't come from the sink to our mouth. So that's why this is enough for the sink to be koshered in this way. The next thing we're gonna learn to kosher for Passover is the oven. The oven, it's better to not use the oven for Passover. That's what most rabbis says, because the oven is used a lot with bread, a lot with crumbs, and if we cannot use the oven for only 7 days, that's better. However, if we do use the oven, and it's very important for us, there is a way to kosher the oven, and the way is like this. What we should do is, first of all, to not use the oven for 24 hours. Yeah, we don't use it for chametz for 24 hours. If we don't use it for 24 hours, after that we need to clean it. We clean the oven with a spray, but we need a good spray that can take and remove the stains that are on the oven. After we remove the stains on the oven, and we didn't use it for 24 hours, then we just turn on the oven on the highest temperature, highest temperature that it's possible. And after that, basically the oven is kosher for Passover. However, the trays are impossible to kosher them in this way. We should use disposable trays or new trays, but the oven is kosher to use like that. Some ovens have a possibility of self-clean. A self-clean mode is basically the best way to kosher, and it's the easiest way to kosher. It's called libun chamur in Hebrew, because the self-clean, if it's the real self-clean, I heard that in our days there's two types of self-clean, but the real self-clean that cleans the oven for like around 2 hours or even more, this self-clean mode gets to 500 degrees of temperature, and this is called libun chamur, means it's koshering it according to all opinions, and there's no problem, even we don't need to clean it. So if we have that oven, that's the best. We can use it lechatchila with no problem. If we don't have the self-clean mode, as I said, we're cleaning it 24 hours, not using it before, and then putting it on the highest temperature. The stove, also very important. The stove, of course, we use for Passover. We need to kosher the stove, and we have few types of stoves. We'll start with the electronic stove. Some people have, today is more common to have that stove that has a glass on it, and we don't see an actual fire, it's just electricity. Yeah. So this type of stoves, a year ago or even 2 years ago, the rabbis were discussing what this glass made from, and there were some opinions that saying that this glass had certain ceramic inside. It's not 100% glass. Today we know that this is 100% glass. There was a whole research about it this year, and there's no ceramic added to this glass. Therefore, it's possible to kosher it for Passover. And for Sfaradim, it's actually very, very easy, because we hold like Maran, Shulchan Aruch, that say that glass doesn't need to be kosher, only you need to be washed. So the way to kosher that stove, the glass stove, electric glass stove for the Sfaradim, is just to clean it good with a good spray, to turn on the stove, all the spots of the stove, for maybe 15 minutes on the highest degree, and this is kosher for Passover. For those who are machmir, who are more strict with glass, like the minhag of the Ashkenazim, they should clean that and cover it, but not with aluminum foil, because aluminum foil is very, very dangerous and chas v'shalom it can explode. They just have to have something in between the pot and that glass, and something like maybe a barbecue net, something very thin, so it's still gonna cook well. And this is the way how they should use it on Pesach. The other stove that we're going to talk about is the regular stove, the fire stove that most people have in their house. This is pretty simple to kosher. What we need to do is to clean it very well with a good spray. Then, after we clean it, we turn on the fire in all the spots for maybe 10 minutes, and it kosher itself. And those metal grates that we put the pots on them, they are actually the most complicated one, because they need libun. Libun means to put it in a self-clean mode, or to take it to the haga'ala places when they mamash burn them with fire. Most people cannot afford to do so. So what we do is we just cover it with aluminum foil. So you take those metal grates that we put the pot on, and you cover them with aluminum foil. You don't have to cover all of them, just that place where the pots are, you cover them with aluminum foil, and that's how we use it on Pesach. It's good to double wrap them, not just one time, double wrap them, and that's how we use it for Passover. Also, the whole other space of the stove, the metal space of the stove, in the bottom of the stove, after we clean it, we should put boiling water on that. Or if we don't want to put boiling water on that, what we can do is just to cover it, the bottom of the stove, with aluminum foil, just to cut the places where the fire is, and all the rest will be with aluminum foil. And that's how we use it on Pesach, and it's 100% kosher for Pesach. I want to wish all of us Chag Pesach, Kasher v'Sameach.